Hello and welcome to HealthyHouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. Today's video is sponsored by our Amazon affiliate link, which you'll see in the description below. You'll also see in the description below any links to videos I mentioned in this video. So today I'm going to talk to you about how much pumice to put in your houseplant soil for planting. I often get that question, so I thought I'd cover that in a video. Here's my pumice, and you can also get pumice in other locations as well. And this is a lava rock that is a really good draining agent for your houseplant's soil and for your houseplant roots. So usually other types of soils will come with a what is this right here, which is perlite, and you can tell it's perlite because you can break it in your hands pretty easily. The pumice, on the other hand, is very hard, so you could get out a mallet or something and start breaking it, or a hammer, but for the most part it doesn't break up as much as easily as and there's going to be pieces that are, but for the most part it's a lot harder. So I like it because it's also bigger, a little bit bigger, so it creates really good drainage for your houseplants, because drainage is critical for houseplant roots. As I talk about in other videos, you want a little bit of air at the root zone for your plants, not a lot, but a little bit, so that they can breathe, because they are living, breathing organisms, that the roots are of your plants as well. So how much pumice to put into your houseplant soil is going to depend on a few things. Number one, if there's already pumice in the soil, which there isn't in most soils. Most soils have the perlite, as mentioned. So here's the soil with the perlite. But you also want to look at how much perlite is in the soil. So if there's quite a bit of perlite in the soil and you feel like it's enough drainage, then you don't need to add extra pumice. However, you want to make sure, and keeping in mind that the perlite will break down over time, but the pumice won't, then you might want to add some. So most houseplants, you would want to do about anywhere between an eighth to a quarter of the soil. So with that being said, you would want to do, say you're doing a quarter of the soil, you would do 1 part of the pumice and then 3 parts of the soil itself. So you would want to use, so for instance, this is a little bit bigger than a cup, but say you could use a cup, a regular cup. So this is a little bit, so you can see where I've got the level I've got the pumice at there. Okay, so this is I'm going to be doing 1/4. Now, if I was going to be planting up something like a succulent, which is Sansevieria is, I would want to go even more, put even more pumice in. I would want to go to at least 1/3 pumice, if not even 1/2 pumice and 1 soil. Depends on your soil too. If your soil is very heavy, you definitely want to go towards the side of more pumice. If the soil is a little bit lighter weight, this is a lighter weight soil, it's a pro-mix soil and it already has some perlite in it, I don't need to go quite as heavy on the pumice. Okay, so there we have that. Now I'm going to add, so I get the 1/4 to 3/4, I'm going to add 3 of these cups worth of soil. Now this soil has not been moistened, so since it hasn't been moistened, I'm going to fill these cups because there's air in this because it hasn't been moistened. So if I had pre-moistened it, I would do more along the lines of where the pumice was, but since it hasn't been, I'm going to fit, that's why I'm filling the pot. So 1, 2, last cup. Okay, 3. Kind of like baking or something. And then you're going to mix it up really well, and you're going to take a look when you mix it up at how it looks. And if you have gloves on, you can mix it with your hands. I have my gloves around here somewhere, but I'm using this mixing stick here right now. I've got it pretty well mixed up nicely. Obviously good to mix it up pretty thoroughly before you go and plant, because otherwise, you know, you're going to have too much in one spot, not enough in another, and that wouldn't be a good thing. Looking at the bottom here. Okay, so I have this well mixed up. You can see now there is a difference in how much is in there. You can see by looking at this, you see the pumice that's in there. So it gives you a good idea of how much you can add. And then as you saw when I mixed this up, it doesn't look like all that much, right? So it looks like this is a good ratio for most houseplants. But if would be potting up this Sansevieria, I would definitely put another cup's worth of this in here so that you're going to see a lot more of the pumice when you mix your soil. But that gives you a good idea of how much drainage and how much pumice to add to your potting soil. So that is that. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. And remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.